Hello, welcome back to Oliver's greenhouse. Now, excuse the shakiness of the camera, I'm actually just holding you. I've been a bit too lazy to get the tripod out. But whilst it's still light, what I thought we could do is we pop out to the greenhouse and have a look at the plants we rescued from the other day and see how they're getting on. Okay, so all I did was actually plugged in the mic. I had a little quick listen back at some of the footage, and it was just so quiet I couldn't really hear anything. So here we are in the greenhouse. Please excuse the noise of the fans. I'm not turning anything off today. This brass here should win an award for longevity. As you can see, it's still, it'll focus on my hand, it's still producing flowers. There's another flower spike coming out here, and there's also lots of new growth as well. There's a new growth just down in here by my finger. If it focuses, it may or may not focus. Hang on. There we go. So there's a new growth coming out here. There's also, let me turn it around, lots and lots of root growth. These great big long roots coming out of it all over the place. So yeah, I love this brass here. I'm actually going to sell the other division over the other side here. This one at some point, because it's just taking up too much room. It's just ridiculous. What I'll do is I'll just turn this fan off here because it's blowing straight in my face. Let's just turn that off. There we go, wonderful. Right, and let's get the orchids that we repotted, unpotted and repotted, and have a look at them. Also, the dendrobium I mounted as well. I can just reach him. Oh, there we go. It's a funny old thing, this one. We can hang him up on the edge of there for the moment. There we go. Right, stand back. Right, so these are the three orchids. That's the brassica-like one. I'm not sure what it is. The Cambria and this Sanook dendrobium, which is sort of like flopped down a little bit now. It naturally wanted to sort of hang downwards. So it's only been 6 days, I think, at the point of recording this video since we repotted them, and already they're starting to look better. They've taken on a better colouring to them. Or this one's still slight. I think this one's still looking a little bit pale, but it is looking more hydrated. The pseudo bulbs, which are looking really shriveled, look a lot happier. In fact, it's watering night to night. Quite a few people were concerned by the amount of sphagnum moss I was using in here. Now I'm pretty, there's a lot of mixed sort of preference over people's growth. Some people really like moss, some people avoid it like the plague. I would consider myself to be inexperienced, but I wouldn't also consider myself to be the most experienced orchid grower on earth. Now I find I have a lot of good results with sphagnum moss, but you've just got to be super spot on with your watering. So it's going to be a case of coming out, putting your finger in the plant like this, seeing if you feel moisture. Now these guys are pretty dry at the moment, so it's watering night to night. There's that little growth. If I zoom in, you'll probably be able to see it. Bear with me. There we go. There's that little growth, that little nubbin just poking out down the bottom here, and that's still looking nice and healthy. So they're doing fine. I put extra holes in the bottom of the pots here, and the same on this side here as well. So effectively what you've got, and those of you that have watched the previous video, you've got a layer of coarse orchid bark up to about this height, and then you've got a band of moss on top. Now it's not super packed down, it's quite loose. You can see I can just pick it up. For example, when checking these, if you just pull a bit out like this, you can put your finger down in there. So this is still quite moist down in here, so we know it's okay. It probably doesn't need watering just yet, but it dries peculiarly, so you'll find it really dries on top, or it even dries underneath before you know it, because obviously these extra holes in the bottom provide air circulation. So you've really got to have a dig around, have a feel what they're like, and if they're looking or they're feeling a little bit dry, then it's time to just top them up. But I find sphagnum moss is excellent. It retains moisture beautifully. More importantly, it buys me time with my plants as well, because I can't get in there. Sometimes I don't even get in here every day. So it buys me that extra time, and I find it a really fantastic growing media. We have a look at the one we mounted. It's looking a bit slopey downwards at the moment if I pick it up, because of the position it's in. It stayed lush, nice and green. That pseudo bulb, which was looking a bit manky, the one that's directly in front of the screen now, that's lost all of its leaves, they've just dropped off. But the others are staying relatively green, and the pseudo bulbs are nice and plump. So I'm feeling very positive about that. I think it's going to be absolutely a-okay. So in fact, this guy could do with a bit of watering tonight. I'm going to give everything a good watering tonight because everything in here is really dry at the moment. So as far as the update is, it's early days, we're only 6 days in, but all 3 of the orchids that we repotted together and we did the last video on seem to be doing absolutely fine. So I guess the truth, you know, the proof will be in the pudding. When we have a look at them in 2-3 weeks time, we'll really be able to see how they're getting on. So only a quick update. Thanks for tuning in. If you like these videos, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like down below. And if you want to see more videos on orchids and carnivorous plants, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.